following 3 seasons with the Cardinals, and Kevin Stefanski out after 6 seasons in Cleveland. Add those to the Giants, Titans, and Falcons openings. Might the Ravens be the 7th team with a head coach vacancy? ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
At this point, we don't have reason to believe the Ravens are considering moving on from John Harbaugh or that he's considering moving on from them. But they've come to the end of an extremely disappointing season. There's been enough noise and chatter around this and around the uncertainty with Lamar Jackson and his future contract situation that we're watching it. I think still the likelihood is that John Harbaugh is back next year.
Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa said he's open to a fresh start. He was benched the final 3 games of the regular season. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss agreed to a new deal that will have him back with the Rebels in 2026 if the NCAA approves his pending waiver for a 6th season of eligibility.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Cannon. Coming up Tuesday, which teams will be in my top 5 power rankings heading into the playoffs? Find out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Happy New Year, y'all. Been a minute since I've been here. Appreciate Muse, Paulie, everybody for holding it down while I was out. But my goodness, is it good to be back. Happy 2026. We got a ton to do today. So let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't welcome all of our dear friends in Tuscaloosa and Oxford, who no doubt are locked in with us today. We got a lot to do, man. Portal's open, and it's very fluid, so we got a lot that we'll get to here over the course of the next 3 hours. There's so many things to discuss as I've been out for a little more than 2 weeks now, and the portal's open, and LSU is remaking its football roster. The Saints season has ended. A lot to get to, and we will, over the course of the day today, get to all of it. Portal additions, ins, outs, visits, all the info that I have, coaching staff stuff, all of it. Let me begin, though, with quarterback. There is no greater need that LSU has for 2026 to address than quarterback. They need a lot, as there's now, at this very moment, if my count is correct, 23 players in the transfer portal, in addition to the 20-some-odd seniors who are out of eligibility. You're talking about overhauling half of your roster. But none of it matters if you don't have the right quarterback. So, and as of this very moment, the LSU does not have a scholarship quarterback on the roster. Van Buren, Hurley, Johnson, all in the portal. Nussmeier, out of eligibility. So, yes, there is a lot to do, and they got to go address quarterback. The plan had been the plan had been Trinidad Chambliss. I've talked about this on this show, on Locked on LSU, everywhere that I've been on anywhere. The plan was Trinidad Chambliss. When Lane Kiffin was coming over, the plan was to bring Trinidad Chambliss. And I've told you that, I've said this on the record, I have no problem reporting this number, that LSU had an offer approaching $4 million for Trinidad Chambliss, and you could say that's tampering, and I would say, well, you're actually not paying attention to what's actually happening in the world, because all of these deals are done during what I guess we could phrase a legal tampering period. So that was overwhelmingly going to happen. But two things sort of caused that to hit a speed bump. One is Ole Miss has continued winning, so none of their guys have gone in the portal. And I don't think many people outside of Oxford, Mississippi, thought that Ole Miss would still be playing football here on January the 5th, preparing for a national semifinal game. Congrats to them. I mean, amazing win over Georgia. They deserve it. They've played awesome. I mean, I don't cheer for the SEC, but if you are objectively watching that team, they're so fun to watch, which gives you actually a lot of hope for LSU because that's the team Lane Kiffin built. The other part of that is Trinidad Chambliss' waiver. So throughout all this process, when Lane Kiffin was hired, remember, he was hired here at the beginning, December 1st, and the thought was from the NCAA that Chambliss would have already gotten his waiver clearance by now. I mean, Chambliss even said it on the record in November that he was expecting it would be done in a week or so. I mean, this was before Thanksgiving. And so the fact that you're sitting here on January 5th and the NCAA still hasn't ruled, it put LSU and really all schools that are looking at quarterbacks in a tough spot. The news here on Monday came from Ross Dellinger at Yahoo on Monday morning, 8:01 a.m. Central. He tweeted, Trinidad Chambliss has agreed to a new deal with Ole Miss contingent on him having his eligibility waiver request granted. Okay, and he says his dad says he's, quote, confident. And they could pursue legal means. Okay. So you got to consider this because LSU had to make a decision. LSU had to make a decision. And this is not, I tweeted this earlier today, and boy, Ole Miss fans did not like my tweet. But just think about this logically. Your LSU, you have no quarterbacks on your roster. You have a decision to make. The NCAA has unofficially let Ole Miss know, and by extension LSU, everybody knows now, that they were not going to grant this waiver request. So Trinidad Chambliss has retained attorney Tom Mars, and they're going to have to go a legal route, like Diego Pavia did. And my buddy Ross Dellinger reminded me over the weekend that the NCAA has actually won roughly 2/3 of their eligibility cases that have gone to court. There have been some high-profile losses like Diego Pavia, but they've won a lot of them. So if you're LSU, you think of it this way. You have no scholarship quarterbacks on your roster. You would love for Trinidad Chambliss to be. That's objective fact. He is awesome. Like, you've heard the comps to like a young Russell Wilson. He has been sensational. And by the way, you'd have no transition. He knows the coaches, the terminology, the offense, the scheme, all of it. In the SEC, you would have no transition whatsoever. Boom, hit the ground running. And you would love for that to be an option. But what if it's not granted? What if the waiver is not granted? And what if you go to court and lose? Then what? So LSU kind of had to sit there and make this decision. Do we risk it, playing this thing out with Chambliss, hoping that he comes to Baton Rouge, or do you move on and go get one of the top quarterbacks in the portal? They made the decision, as the portal opened, to move on. They had to. Like, doesn't that make sense? Like, can we all just intellectually admit that makes sense? Like, because you're hoping that Chambliss gets his waiver or you win in court, but if he doesn't, you're screwed. You have no quarterbacks. There's no spring portal window. So you had to go after what was a more certain thing, even if Chambliss would have been your top option. So they moved on. And the top two guys in the portal are Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati and Sam Leavitt from Arizona State, and that's where they are. And by the way, the Chambliss thing, because I know there are people at Ole Miss who don't want to acknowledge this, but before Ole Miss played Tulane, Trinidad Chambliss, speaking to the media, was asked point blank, if you get your 6th year, would you be back at Ole Miss? This is what Trinidad Chambliss said.
I would have to consider like what the best situation is for me, what I feel most comfortable with, who I trust the most, and just get a feel for, every possibility, really. So there's a lot that goes into that.
That doesn't sound like a dude that was pot committed to being back in Oxford. That doesn't sound like a dude that's got rebel red and blue running through his veins with no consideration of anything else. That dude knew what was up. Like, let's be honest intellectually with each other here. We can have this conversation. All of these dudes are mercenaries. They can love the place they are, but you have to be realistic as well in understanding that everything is 1 year free agency. Chambliss didn't make no money this year at Ole Miss. He came from Ferris State as a backup. If he gets his waiver, he's got 1 year to cash in. Go where the money's the best. And look, they kept winning. Ole Miss boosters want to ante up to make sure they keep him. Cool. Okay. That's what it is. But let's not pretend like he's just Ole Miss through and through and was never going to consider leaving. His own words. He told you 2 weeks ago that he was going to leave. So LSU pivots. Brendan Sorsby, always thought to be a Texas Tech lean. The reports are, and I can confirm the same that I heard, was north of $5 million. His girlfriend went there as well as a volleyball player as a transfer to Texas Tech. LSU hosted him over the weekend. They took him to Supper Club because, of course, they would. And this ultimately was the thing that was clearly about the money. And if you're LSU, you ask yourself this question: can you justify the spend? If it's going to take $5.5, $6 million to get Brendan Sorsby, and you were going to pay $3.85 thereabouts, just south of $4 for Trinidad Chambliss, who's I think we can agree, Chambliss, a more accomplished player than Sorsby. And you're willing to pay out $4 for Chambliss, and Sorsby was going to cost you $5.5, $6? You ask yourself the question: do you continue upping the ante, or do you take that money and say, I'm going to invest in the rest of my roster, feeling like I can get a quarterback at a more reasonable price and invest the rest of the money into the roster? And ultimately, does it make sense to go spend on the quarterback if you don't have the roster around him? You want to make the analogy to pro sports, because that's what this is. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? You paid Patrick Mahomes $500 million. What does the rest of your roster look like? Old. Right? That's what this is. You have to decide how you want to allocate your funds. So here on Monday, Sam Leavitt, the Arizona State transfer, is going to visit LSU. I was told he was scheduled to arrive at LSU at 2 p.m. Central, so about an hour ago from right now. So he should be there now. Leavitt has also visited University of Kentucky, and I'm told Kentucky is preparing a huge financial offer for Sam Leavitt. So we'll see where this goes. But Leavitt, everyone knows his story. He started his career at Michigan State, moved to Arizona State, led the Sun Devils to the playoff a year ago. They had a fantastic season this year, suffered a Lisfranc injury. He missed half the season because of that injury, and that injury is going to cost him spring as well. So he's not going to participate in spring football. That's a challenge, because now you're talking about potentially bringing in a quarterback that is not going to participate in spring practice. And new coaches, new system, new terminology, new teammates, new everything, and your quarterback's not going to be on the field. Remember 2018 Joe Burrow? He went through spring at Ohio State, showed up at LSU in June. It was a struggle for the first 2/3 of 2018 with Joey B. I say it often. He went through the entire month of October without throwing a touchdown pass in 2018. And then when you got into November and into the bowl game, he really started to accelerate, and then boom, hit that kick in 2019. We saw what happened. So that's a big question with Sam Leavitt. Should you add him? But he's, depending on which of the scouting services you look at, Sorsby, Leavitt, Sorsby, those are the top two guys in the portal. And if you get one of them, you feel like that's a big win, but they both would have come with questions. If you don't get Leavitt, there's this real question of what's next. DJ Lagway's out there. He's visited Florida State. He's going to visit Virginia. His agent said he's going to visit other spots. Two other names that we gave you to keep an eye on: Damon Williams from Washington, CJ Bailey from NC State. They've both committed to staying at their current schools, not going into the portal. So those elite level, top tier quarterbacks, that crop starts to thin out. So if you're LSU, you know you're not in the mix for Chambliss anymore. Sorsby has signed with Texas Tech. You got to be all in on Leavitt. So whatever it takes to get him here, if you want to get one of the top tier quarterbacks in this portal cycle, this is where you're looking. So we'll see if they can get a deal done before Sam Leavitt leaves Baton Rouge. As that visit goes along, we'll let you know how it goes as we learn more. I was told it's supposed to be a multi-day visit. So he arrived here in Baton Rouge on Monday, and the visit's supposed to go through Monday night into Tuesday. So as we learn more, we'll tell you more. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Thanks for being here. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. As we move into 2026, toast 2026 with a delicious ice-cold Bud Light. We always appreciate our friends over at Mockler Beverage. The amazing folks over there have been great community partners for decades. And, of course, we always encourage you to drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, official beer of your New Orleans Saints, and the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, quick break. Come back. I got tons of LSU stuff to do. 45 minutes from right now, I want to talk about Charlie Weis and the coaching staff and everything that's been happening there. Broke the news on Sunday about TJ Lindsey, His legal matter has been wrapped up, and he has been invited to return to the LSU football team. I'll tell you what I know next hour. We will go through all the LSU portal additions in between now and 5 o'clock Central Time. There may be more, so we'll tell you that as we know more. So a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out. So stay with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
If you are thinking about buying a new home, maybe 2026, your New Year's resolution is new year, new home. Maybe 2026, you're starting a new job and you're moving for that new job and you have to sell your current home. You need Darren James. Bottom line is you got to work with a realtor, okay? 3/4, 75% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. So save yourself the time and the money. Get your home sold fast for the most amount of money. Call Darren James. Darren's got his guaranteed sale program. Guarantees he'll sell your home at a price by a deadline you agree to. If he doesn't, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. He's also got his contact guarantee. If at any point you're not thrilled with the communication from Darren and his team, fire him. Let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. You have nothing to lose. So call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Our guys battled, but I thought the defense just played some outstanding football out there, and we just weren't able to quite get it done. We're close. A bunch of guys took advantage of some opportunities out there, and so overall, there's a little bit of reflection in the sense that really proud of this group, the way they've stuck together and battled each and every way, all the way down to the very end of this game, and so really proud of this group, and obviously, we want to recognize that first and foremost.
A year one of the Ellen Moore era in the books.
Ellen Moore.
It's never going to get old. I don't care that it's 2026. I don't care that it's a new year. Just keep that drop handy, Muse. We are going to keep rolling with that Ellen Moore drop.
Ellen Moore.
So good. So the Saints wrap up the season 6-11 with a 19-17 loss to Atlanta. And I told you all season, I've been consistent, if nothing else, that I was never going to come in here on a Monday and react to a result, a win or a loss, emotionally, because I had no expectation for this team. I picked them 5-12. They finished 6-11. So regrets to all of you Saints under bettors who looked like you were going to have a rocking chair cover. When they made a 7-game losing streak, it looked like y'all were going to cash that ticket before Christmas. And not so much. The Saints go over the win total and really head into the offseason with a degree of optimism for the first time, I think probably since Sean Payton left. We'll get to that in just a second. But I told you I'm not going to react emotionally to a result. It would have been great to beat Atlanta. Always fun to beat the Falcons. I told you that over the final month when a lot of people were wondering, like, did you want to tank to lose for draft position or did you want to win? I told you I want to win. I am way more concerned with this team showing promise and the ability to win in the NFL and finding out and solidifying quarterback with Tyler Shuck than I am with getting a higher draft pick and questioning, do they need to use that high draft pick on a quarterback? So I'm glad that they won as much as they did. Losing on Sunday wasn't the worst thing because you've already solidified. We all agree unanimously that Tyler Shuck is your guy, right? There is no consideration or should be no consideration from anyone of going into this offseason needing a quarterback. You are not looking in free agency and you are not looking in the draft for a quarterback. You got the guy that you're going into next year thinking he may be your franchise. With what Tyler Shuck showed over the second half of this season was remarkable, especially with the supporting cast, and that was magnified on Sunday in Atlanta. Yes, you lost the game. Oh, by the way, losing that game did lock up the 8th pick for New Orleans. Had they won, they would have selected 11th. So kind of the best of both worlds. Like, you feel really good about Tyler Shuck, and you improve 3 draft spots. Okay, I'm good with it. If you watch the game, or if you let's say you didn't watch the game and you just looked at the box score, I mean, you just cover the teams and the score and just look at the box score. Total yardage, 340 to 208. Passing, 232 to 159. Rushing, 108 to 49. 2 yards a carry? Incredible. You would have looked at that and said, man, Column A dominated the game. No, Column A lost 19-17. And it's what happened. I mean, you had a block punt that netted a touchdown for Atlanta. You had the interception late in the game that netted a field goal. You gave him 10 points. You gave him 10 points in a 19-17 game. You gave him 10 points on a day where they put up 208 yards of total offense. Okay, it's the NFL. It happens. You can't make mistakes. Those types of things are going to cost you. Great play by the defensive back in Atlanta on the interception, jumped the route, returned 59 yards, set up a field goal, all that stuff, whatever. But the other thing that just jumps off the page when you read through this box score are the names. The New Orleans Saints put up nearly 400 yards of offense with Audric Estime as the running back. Your second leading rusher was Tyler Shuck. And with dudes named Samori Toure and Ronnie Bell catching passes. Actually, this is the list of players that caught a pass against Atlanta. Juwan Johnson, Dante Pettis, Audric Estime, Kevin Austin, Taysom Hill, Ronnie Bell, and Samori Toure. What? I'm pretty sure Muse Paulie and I could have gone out there and replicated that production. Okay, maybe not exactly. I don't run as well as I used to. Back issues and all that stuff. But you get my point. Like, I had to look this up. Was this guy's name? Samori Toure didn't even play in the NFL last year. And this was the only game he played in this year. This is the first time he got played in an NFL game in 2 years after a couple of seasons with Green Bay. Ronnie Bell caught that touchdown pass at the end of the game. One-handed, by the way. Take notes, Chris Olave. It's possible to make a contested catch. Anyway, Ronnie Bell. I'm going, Ronnie Bell? Who the hell is Ronnie Bell? I feel like the scene in Major League. Mitchell Friedman? Who are these guys? I mean, it was incredible. They put up almost 400 yards with those guys. Kelvin Banks gets injured. You're still without your starting center. What are we? You have to consider those things. And on the flip side of it, your defense, hat tip to Brandon Staley. That's got to be the least talked about storyline with this Saints team this year. You were 30th in the NFL last year in total defense. And you went out and allowed 208 yards of offense to Atlanta in this game on the road. Cam gets 10.5 sacks on the season. Granderson's interception was incredible. You held Bijan Robinson, who can we all agree is good? You held Bijan Robinson to 33 yards on 15 carries? I mean, they've got Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. And Kirk Cousins threw for 159 yards. It's crazy to look at the disparity with what the Falcons had on their roster, what the Saints had on their roster. The Saints just made a few mistakes, cost them the game, which, okay. This is the first time heading into an offseason, I think since the COVID year, that I can look at New Orleans. I mean, even if that counts. I don't even know if that counts because Breeze retired after you lost to Tampa in the Dome, Breeze's last game. But I think going into 2021, there was reason for optimism because, remember, you still had Sean Payton. You still had a core of a team that had been to the playoffs every year since 2017. And you had Jameis, who took that COVID year and was basically Drew Brees' pupil. It was just, hey, sit and watch, and you're going to be the guy next year. And I mean, kind of worked. I mean, the Saints were 5-2 when Devin White horse collar Jameis and tore his ACL. I can't help but wonder, how could things have been different had that not happened? But anyway, all that to say, going into that year was probably the last time we actually had reason for optimism. Subsequent to that, I mean, it was an awful lot of Andy Dalton and Andy Dalton. And then Derek Carr. I mean, there was no reason to think that it was going to get turned around to be a contender again after 2021. So, man, I think the biggest question you ask is, do you trust Mickey Loomis to handle draft and free agency? And I can't tell you definitively that I do. Because if you're going to sit here and tout this year, this most recent draft class, and 2017, I'll go, okay, what about the other 20 drafts? What about the Andrew Tillers and the Kyrie Forts and the Marcus Davenports, the Peyton Turners? What about those drafts? The Trevor Pennings, right? You can't wipe away 20 years of bad drafts because they're two good ones. And if you want to talk about finally having money to spend in free agency, great, but that's not because Loomis did anything great. That's because Derek Carr retired. And it gave you a mulligan because of the awful contract you gave him and the awful restructuring of that contract. You want me to talk about Jarris Byrd and Jason David and Adrian Peterson and Brandon Browner and Derek Carr? I can talk about a lot of bad free agent signings Mickey Loomis has done. So I don't have any confidence in Loomis to get it right. My hope is Tyler Shuck, Kellen Moore, Brandon Staley can overcome that. And maybe they do go hit and draft in free agency because you got the quarterback in place. You don't need much to go from a 6-win team to maybe a 9-10 win team and be in the playoffs. So heading into this offseason with some optimism, mainly because even with the loss to Atlanta, even in the loss to Atlanta, I think it illustrates even further how good you feel about your quarterback and your defense going into next year. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. You know the drill. Kill mold, remove odor. It's Parish Restoration. They'll come and spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Super easy. It's cost-effective. It's efficient. It's more effective. It'll kill dozens of harmful pathogens. Maybe you've got flu or cold or COVID or whatever going through the office. Call Parish. They'll come spray. It'll sanitize the entire place, your home, your office, your church, school, whatever. Parish Restoration. Maybe you got odor from sweat, or mold, or pets, or smoke. You need to knock out that odor. Parish Restoration can help. ParishRestoration.com. 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 All All right, y'all, it's AFR. Glad you're hanging out. Ross Jackson will be with us, talk some Saints with Ross from LouisianaSports.net here in about 45 minutes from right now. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. LSU basketball still stinks. I've got a new love of sardines. I'll tell you about that. Yeah, I know, I swear. I'll tell you about that coming up in a little bit as well. A lot to do. We'll talk Charlie Weis. What happened with him this weekend? Do that coming up in 30 minutes. What? How'd your arm go left?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the sardines because when I saw the rundown, I thought it was somehow related to you putting LSU b-ball stinks and it's /sardines because sardines smell. Yeah. So when you said you love them now, I'm like, oh, well, I took sardines. That the completely wrong way. I just thought it was funny.
I love sardines.
All right. I can't wait to hear why.
You'll hear it after the next break.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. New year, new you. New Year's resolution, y'all. This is your stop, okay? At Goodwood, remember, they're on Drusilla in Baton Rouge, but there's 3 different businesses in one. You've got Goodwood, which is the men's clinic. You got Unique Physique, which is the GLP-1s, right? Semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weight loss shots. And then you've got Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, which is the aesthetics clinic, right? Botox and body contouring and all, laser therapies, all that sort of stuff. All 3 in one place, right there on Drusilla in Baton Rouge. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. I want you to do this, men or women. Because, by the way, women, if you want to get your hormone levels checked, and if you did not see what the FDA recently came out with, reversing a decades-long feeling about the benefits of HRT for women, you need to learn more. But start your wellness journey at yourgoodwood.com and get those levels checked. Yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Big shout out to Relief Windows, Brandon, Holly, and the gang do awesome work. New year. Thrilled to have our friends with us. You need windows, doors, siding, shutters, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. My apologies, by the way, to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions. I mean, how else can we look at this other than me giving them the total kiss of death? The Lions and Bengals, that was my Super Bowl pick, and neither made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Atrocious. Yeah. Now, I feel like I get a caveat, because if you had told me Joe Burrow was going to miss half the season with a toe, toes are bad.
So he had a bad, probably the worst toe.
One of the worst toes you'll ever see.
Yes.
Surgery and missing half the year.
Yeah.
But if you had told me that, the Bengals weren't going to have Joey B for half the year, I probably would have gone a different direction.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah. Lions, that's just on me. Yeah, I'll own it. It's on me. Who was your pick? Who's y'all? Do you
I believe mine was Bills Eagles.
Paulie, remember who you had?
I think mine was Bills Packers.
Y'all gonna have to go check it out. Go. The one thing
I don't feel good about it at all. I'll be honest.
The one thing that I wanted to pull the trigger on was Denver in the or maybe the Chargers. I wanted to pull the trigger on a different AFC West team, and I teased it and was like, no, I'm just.
I thought you did.
Maybe I did.
I thought you did.
Paulie, look it up.
Pick someone else.
Let's see how our picks are looking. If you have it handy, we'll get to that. But yes, I know my Super Bowl pick was Bengals Lions, and not only are neither going to win the Super Bowl, neither made the playoffs. Just absolute atrocity on my part. Do you have it, Paulie?
It's in my office. I'll get it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking for it. It's all good. Okay. It's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center. New year, new you, new vision, WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. Call 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020. And, of course, it's eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. So we talk all the time about, be it LASIK or PRK or EVO ICL, the custom lens replacement. But remember, the start of the year is a great time to go get your annual eye exam. If you haven't done it, it's always a good reminder. When the calendar flips, just go get your eye exam at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. If you need to update your prescription for your contacts or glasses, they can do that as well. And if you want to inquire about refractive surgery, so you can ditch the contacts and glasses forever, call the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. I got a text on the text line. Apparently, this is a question. So I tweeted earlier this morning, that I confirmed there were 2 visitors coming to Baton Rouge today. Sam Leavitt, one of them, and the other is Jace Brown, who is a wide receiver from Kansas State. Since been told there are 3. Brown is one of 3 receivers visiting. So Leavitt plus 3 receivers, so 4 visitors today at LSU. Leavitt was set to arrive at 2 o'clock, and then the receivers are arriving later this afternoon, early evening. And so I'd be getting a lot of questions. Amy asked on the text line. Several others on Twitter had asked, because Brown had apparently shared on his Instagram story that he was in Oxford at Ole Miss. Well, he's leaving Oxford and then coming to Baton Rouge. So these guys are just on, all these guys that are taking visits, it's a whirlwind. I mean, it's not that dissimilar from the pre-draft process for a lot of draft prospects who are hopping to different cities, doing pre-draft top 30 visits with all these different teams. So it's a lot. It's very similar to that. So you got these guys constantly on the go, figuring out where the best spot and the next spot is going to be. So anyway, so yes, Jace Brown, the receiver from Kansas State, is visiting, but he and the other 2 receivers who are coming, I don't have their names, I'm working on it, are set to visit. They're set to arrive this afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, after the visit from at Ole Miss. So yes, Jace Brown is still coming to Baton Rouge, just he'll arrive later in the day. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're here. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Pete Thamel reports Ty Simpson has not made a decision yet on what he'll do in 2026. That's according to his agent, Peter Webb. He could turn pro, but after a really bad November and end of the season, could he return to school? And if he does return to school, could it mean transfer portal? One worth keeping an eye on, because if, in fact, Ty Simpson goes to the portal, he would become one of the more coveted, sought-after quarterbacks in college football for 2026.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Former Clemson safety Khalil Barnes has committed to Georgia. 6 foot, 200-pounder. He's an Athens native, so he has 1 year of eligibility remaining. He was a full-time starter for Clemson each of the past 2 years. 7 games as a true freshman back in 2022. So 3 years at Clemson. He's got 1 season remaining.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Baylor center Colton Price has committed to Kentucky. 6'3", 318, the number 1 center in the transfer portal. He ranks number 34 overall, according to 24/7. He redshirted his first year on campus, but he's basically been a starter since 2023. So a 3-year starter there at Baylor, transferring now to Kentucky.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma has landed Virginia wide receiver Trell Harris, really highly coveted. He's the number 52 overall prospect in the portal rankings, the 13th best wide receiver. He's a 4-star in the portal, played in 13 games with 12 starts in 2025.
The Texas Longhorns.
Texas landed their first portal commitment in Arkansas defensive tackle Ian Geffrard. He's a big commitment, 6'5", 387. How you doing? He picked Texas over Auburn, Kentucky, and SMU.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Shane Beamer landed his first portal commitment. It's Oklahoma receiver Jaden Gibson, 6'5", 197. Big old target. Spent the last 4 seasons at OU. He'll have 1 season remaining. He missed 24 due to an injury. Played in 22 games during his 4 seasons at OU. Only 15 catches, though, over those 4 seasons. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad you're hanging out with us as always. Love telling you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Brandon, Holly, and the gang do an awesome job. So you want to make your home more energy efficient, beautify the exterior of your home, lower those energy bills. They can help you do it all at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. They do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, it is AFR. We're glad to have you trucking along with us here on our first show of 2026. I do want to, in 18 minutes at the top of hour 2, I'm going to get into all the back and forth with LSU and Ole Miss and all the coaching stuff. If you have questions, anything you'd like us to address specifically, we'll get to it. You can email me, tweet me, or text me. You can text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. A lot of people found the text line over the last 2 weeks. So, yes, that's actually me. It's actually me responding. It's an app on my phone. It is free for you. I pay for it, so please use it. 225-396-4400, 396-4400. We'll continue to wrap up hour number 1 when we come back, and maybe a thought on both LSU men's and women's basketball. And when I say a thought, I mean like literally just maybe one thought, and then we'll move on to Safer.
After further review.
Man, I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery. And as we start a new year and as the weather continues to go throughout this seasonal change, as we're supposed to be getting, it's 71 right now. We're supposed to be getting chilly the rest of this week. Make sure you get by Clegg's Nursery. Even though Christmas is past, it is still the perfect time with this cooler weather to plant a fruit tree. Like those fruit trees love this cooler weather, and there's plenty of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs that love this type of weather. So they've got a great selection over at Clegg's. Get by any of the 4 locations: Seagoneer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I tell you every day to buy local and shop local. And maybe you didn't get what you want for Christmas. Go get it yourself. Clegg's gift card, all the exterior decor, if you need tuned wind chimes, anything to beautify your garden, your outdoor area, they've got it at Clegg's Nursery, with beautiful shipments of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs arriving almost daily. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR. First show of 2026. And wishing you and yours a very happy, healthy new year. Hope 2026 allows all of your hopes and dreams to come true and everybody has a safe and wonderful, healthy, prosperous 2026. Tigers obviously are working toward building their 2026 roster. I did get word, by the way, Trey Brown, the Old Dominion receiver, is one of the receivers visiting today on campus. So again, as we get more of this information, I'll share it with you as we have it. I would highly recommend you follow me on Twitter or the text lines where I'm putting out a lot of the info as we get it. And of course, over at LouisianaSports.net, where we do have a roster tracker there it's pinned on the home page under the top stories, and it's effectively a roster tracker with a list of everything: the LSU players that have gone in the portal, the players that have announced they're returning for 2026, the portal additions, so 3 so far, and then the reported visits. That's all there. So just I would recommend that you just go bookmark that portal tracker at the homepage of LouisianaSports.net. As I always mention to you, LouisianaSports.net is totally free. There's no paywalls, there's no subscriptions, there's no article limits. It's just free. It's not freemium, it's free. Just everything will always be free. So go visit the website, bookmark it, share links, and tell people that LouisianaSports.net exists and support our great sponsors, and we appreciate it. So I'll talk about Charlie Weis and the LSU coaching staff, the back and forth with Ole Miss in about 11 minutes after the top of the hour. LSU basketball, I said I'd give you a thought. Maybe both the men and the women aren't any good. That's probably way presumptive and probably unfair, quite honestly. But we have talked so little at all about the basketball programs collectively right now because it's hard to read anything into the men's basketball program because of what we saw a year ago where they loaded up in the pre-conference with wins and then got into conference play and face-planted. And they and South Carolina were the only 2 teams in a 16-member conference not to make the NCAA tournament. And so LSU similarly this year had a very impressive non-conference record. And they get into conference play and they go on the road to Texas A&M, which should feel like one of your inherently winnable conference road games, and they lost 75-72. A late collapse. It's fair to mention they did not have DJ Thomas, who's their best player and their best offensive weapon, and but still, that's a road win in conference. That those don't come by easily. Opportunities for road wins in the league, and they didn't get it. On the flip side, the women have started 0-2 in conference play, and that's devastating because you were beating SWAC and MEAC schools by 100, and now you're 0-2 in conference with losses to Kentucky and Vanderbilt. And Kim Mulkey said point blank afterwards that her team isn't tough. Well, don't schedule SWAC and MEAC teams that you beat by 100. Go actually play people in the non-conference. So, listen, it's a long, long way to go. I'm not going to sit here and overreact to an 0-2 start for the women, who are a supremely talented basketball team, and we'll have a great opportunity to get it together. But some of the things that you would have liked to have seen worked out in the pre-conference clearly weren't because they didn't play anybody. And for the men, it shows just how vulnerable you are in this league when you don't have your best player. You're not able to overcome it. So hoping for better ahead. The men will play South Carolina on Tuesday. The women are at Georgia on Thursday, the next time they're out there on the hardwood. All right, it is after further review. I got to tell you about my new obsession in just a second, but we are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. New year, still our same great partnership with South Point Volkswagen that we've had for years, and the 2026s have arrived. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, get on by, test drive 2026 Volkswagen Atlas. How about 0.9% APR? My goodness, is that a typo? It's almost like free money out there, y'all. Drive one of the safest vehicles on the road. Style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. It's at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland or SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, I do. So, Muse, I mentioned you have a new obsession.
Obsession.
Strong
word.
Obsession.
Right, let me lay it on me. Here we go.
Well, let's be honest about what we know about me. Okay, I don't have a lot of hobbies.
That's true. You don't.
When I go down the rabbit hole on something, I tend not to half step.
I was about to say there ain't no half stepping. Nope, it is full bore.
When I'm in, I'm in. It's hard to get me committed, but when I'm committed to something, I'm all in. Right?
Yes.
Like we're at the Sphere in Las Vegas. So Eric and I went with another couple to Vegas this weekend, just a Friday to Sunday trip, and we went to go see Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Okay.
The show was at 2 Pacific, so I'm sitting in my seat. It's 1:48, 12 minutes. I get pinged. Michael Van Buren's going to go in the portal. Hunt is at a party for his mother-in-law or something. I don't know, whatever. So I'm sitting there at the Sphere, having spent lots of money to fly there, hotel, tickets, whatever. I get my phone out. I'm writing the Michael Van Buren portal story on a note on my phone. Like, when I'm in, I'm in. Sneakers?
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey?
Head first.
I ain't got many of them. But if I got my health journey, that's where this started. So I started looking into, somehow fell way down the keto rabbit hole. And apparently one of the healthiest, most nutritious foods that you could possibly eat, sardines.
Okay.
And my reaction was that. You ever eaten a sardine?
I have not. I don't particularly love raw fish, so I don't know if I would like it, but I am very open to trying things once.
I'll tell you what. Everything you've ever been told in your life about sardines, everything you've been led to believe, gross, disgusting,
slimy,
all that.
Smelly.
Everything that you've been... Now, I still don't smell real good.
That's true. You don't.
Because of COVID. So, had COVID, whatever, 5 years ago, and there's still some things I don't smell. Which actually, I'll tell you, if there's one scent, if you have to forfeit a scent, there's some great smelling stuff in the world. But that's one that you could live without. But anyway, my taste is fine, but there's some things I still don't smell. I had to get up the courage to go do this, right? Like, I got a cold plunge every morning.
Yeah.
I throw my body into 50-degree water every day of my life. I mean, I'm in. So I'm like, all right, I got to try this. If this is like the keto superfood and has all these incredible benefits, like I have to go try this. People do sardine fast, like it's all they'll eat for like 3 days, just sardines, or 100 days, just sardines. And so I'm like, I'll go do this. And I had to get over the mental hurdle, Muse, because I'm telling you, I'm same as you. You've basically been told something your whole life.
Right.
Without ever trying it. Jimmy Brooks. I went up to Jimmy Brooks from 100.7 The Tiger. His office is next to mine. I said, you ever had a sardine? And he did that. I'm like, you ever eaten one? No. Like, then don't talk.
Right. No, I fully understand that.
Bro, love them.
And you're just doing it raw.
Love them.
Just peeling
Open
the can back.
Fork, eat them.
Wow.
They're delicious.
Yeah?
I mean, I was preparing myself for, like, I just got to just suck it up and do it. I love it. New obsession. If whatever you've been taught your whole life about sardines, don't believe all the fake news. Try sardines. You'll love them. Maybe not.
After further review.
Early. I think our clocks may be off. Yeah, I think we're early.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll check that.
Yeah, check the clock there. What do I have to tell people about Parrish Construction and Roofing? Do business with someone you know. Hey, 2026, I want to just politely request. So y'all know that I'm an owner. I'm a partner in Parrish, okay? I'm an equity partner, part of the ownership group of Parrish. And we're thrilled with the work we've been able to do, our growth, and everything we've done there with Parrish Construction and Roofing. Our big initiative in 2026 is New Orleans. We're going to continue, of course, growing in Baton Rouge and all areas. But we have a physical office in New Orleans. It's not like we're trying to go into New Orleans. We already do plenty of work in New Orleans. We have a physical office in New Orleans. One of our partners, Joe Morales, lives in River Ridge. We have boots on the ground in the 504 and the 985 every single day. So roof repairs, roof replacements, commercial, residential, gutters, soft wash. We do it all. We do it better than anyone. We'd love the opportunity to bid your commercial job or come give you a roof inspection. ParrishBuilt.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Christine Lisi. Add the Raiders, Cardinals, and Browns to the list of NFL teams with head coaching vacancies, along with the Giants, Titans, and Falcons. Kevin Stefanski fired following his 6th year in Cleveland. After 3 years in Arizona, Jonathan Gannon's out. Pete Carroll's done after one disastrous season in Vegas. And that Raiders opening, the least desirable, believes our Harry Douglas.
Outside of Max Crosby, who defensively are you counting on? And then from an offensive standpoint, I know they drafted Ashton Genty, but Brock Bowers is their best player. I think it's the Raiders because of what they don't have right now and how much they still need amongst their team overall.
Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa told reporters he's open to a fresh start after being benched the final 3 games of the regular season. His 2026 salary cap hit is $56 million. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss agreed to a new deal that'll have him back with the Rebels in 2026 if the NCAA approves his pending waiver for a 6th season of eligibility. Ole Miss takes on Miami in the CFP semifinals Thursday, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, which teams will be in my top 5 power rankings heading into the playoffs? Find out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
AFR. Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Ross Jackson, about 15 minutes. Talk some Saints regular season wrapping up. The season wrapping up for the Saints. 6-11 finish year 1 under Kellen Moore. Go over their win total, projected depending on where you do your shopping, 4.5 or 5.5. But strong finish. Tyler Shuck has cemented himself as the guy, certainly for 2026 and hopefully for much, much longer than that. So we'll talk some Saints in about 15 minutes. I do want to talk about JT Lindsey. You remember JT Lindsey's story. Alexandria, top 150 overall prospect, was arrested last year during fall camp, missed the entire season. His legal situation has been rectified, and he has been invited by Lane Kiffin and the staff to return in 2026. So I want to talk about that. We'll get to it in just a little bit. Okay, it's after further review, and we're glad you're hanging along with us. If you are not on Twitter, which probably applies to a great majority of you, this story probably caught you off guard, but I will explain. So Chris Lowe over at On3 on Monday morning reported that he spoke to Charlie Weis, and that Charlie Weis is not interested in the New York Giants, is not interested in an NFL job, that he is going to stay at LSU. The quote from Charlie Weis Jr., quote, "I'm fired up about finishing the job at Ole Miss and the future at LSU." Again, Weis, no interest in the NFL, committed to LSU, report from Chris Lowe. As a random aside, if you do not follow Chris Lowe on Twitter, I would highly recommend you do. Chris Lowe and Lane Kiffin have a great relationship. A lot of news, I'm guessing, about LSU will be broken through Chris Lowe from Lane Kiffin. Very similar. Bruce Feldman and Ed Ogeron had a great relationship from when Bruce Feldman wrote the book Meat Market, and Coach O was a big feature of that. So they had a great professional relationship. So every time you saw a report from Feldman, it was coming directly from Coach O. Same here with Lowe and Lane Kiffin, and they're going to have that's going to be just something that as a PSA that you should probably know. Well, the reason Lowe needed to put that story out there is because on Sunday, there was a report from the NFL Nation reporter for ESPN for the New York Giants on Sunday about a name to watch to join the offensive staff at the New York Giants being Charlie Weis. It was Jordan Renan. Jordan Renan is the Giants NFL Nation writer, and on Sunday he wrote, heard an interesting name as a possibility to work with quarterback Jackson Dart on the next Giants staff, Charlie Weis Jr. Connection to Dart from Ole Miss, father was a longtime NFL coach, would be an intriguing option. Again, all he said was that he heard an interesting name. Not that there was mutual interest, not that the Giants were interested, just he heard an interesting name. So that is very ambiguous. But there are two things that become very relevant. Number one is who might have told him that name, and two, the timing. Go back with me, okay? I want you to go back with me. Before Christmas, really after Lane had left Ole Miss for LSU, and I shared with you that Ole Miss was very upset about Lane Kiffin leaving, how he left, manner in which left, all that stuff. And they were going to do everything they could to try to embarrass Lane Kiffin. Remember? I told you. They are the staff members. They were pulling staff from LSU over there. They were going to target LSU players in the portal. They were going to do everything they could to pay and retain their guys to keep them from going to LSU. They were going to go after Louisiana high school recruits intentionally. All for the optics of being able to say, you see, those coaches didn't want to be with Lane Kiffin. You see, those players didn't want to follow Lane Kiffin. You see, those players wanted to come to Ole Miss to play for Frank Wilson. And it's all optics. This is another one of those situations. And the timing was no coincidence. While LSU was hosting Brendan Sorsby on campus, one of the top quarterback targets in the portal, this news leaks out there. Do you think anyone associated with LSU leaked that out there? Nope. Do you think anyone associated with Charlie Weis leaked it out there? Charlie's already got his deal at LSU. And clearly, within 24 hours, has gone to Chris Lowe and said, put this out there, my statement that I'm not going anywhere. So if the New York Giants NFL Nation guy is the one reporting it, and it didn't come from LSU, it didn't come from Charlie Weis, where do you think it came from? Had to be someone connected with Ole Miss. Let's connect the dots. Who is connected to Ole Miss and the New York Giants? Ole Miss Giants, Ole Miss Giants, Ole Miss. Oh! There's a guy who's got his number retired there in Oxford. A lot of connections. Won a couple Super Bowls there with the Giants. It still advises the Giants. Who do you think might have floated that name? Just speculation, right? Look, you can believe what you want. I don't really care. I'm so far down this stupid LSU Ole Miss rabbit hole and have been for 2 months. There ain't no denying that, bro, at this point. Y'all want to doubt if I know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking, that's on you. I'll tell you what I know. You believe what you want. I really don't care. But if at this point you're doubting how far I am down this Ole Miss LSU rabbit hole, go find someone else. Ole Miss is pissed that Lane Kiffin left, the manner in which he left, and they're going to do everything they can. I mean, collectively, the administration, the boosters, everybody, to make sure that they stick it to Lane Kiffin every opportunity they have. So if you think all this pettiness is going to go, it ain't. For whatever it's worth, contractually, Charlie Weis has a buyout that is 300% of his salary, which is $2.5 million, if he leaves LSU before April 1st. That buyout is nullified if he leaves for a head coaching job in college or the NFL, or a play calling position in the NFL. He could not leave for a coordinator job, a play calling job in college football. He could either leave for a head coaching job or a play calling job in the NFL, and the buyout would be nullified. So and then after April 1st, it drops to 100% of his salary, so $2.5 million, then reduces each year subsequent. So he could leave for the NFL as a play caller. He couldn't leave to be a position coach, but he could leave to be a coordinator in the NFL and not pay a buyout. But he said point blank he's not leaving anywhere. And I'm going to tell you this. This is all an extension, too, of all the stupidity that we're seeing with the LSU coaches going back and forth. Charlie Weis wants to stay and coach Ole Miss through the college football playoff. And Pete Golding knows he needs Charlie Weis. The rest of the staff he doesn't really need. And during a time where Ole Miss is preparing a very large file to level tampering allegations against LSU, which whether or not they formally submit it to the NCAA, I don't know, but I will tell you they will leak that. They will, with every bone in my body, I'm certain Ole Miss is going to leak the information that they have because of exactly what I tried. Mark my words. Can we mark the tape on this, please? I'm dead serious. I want you to write this down because Ole Miss is going to leak. They are going to leak the information they have with which they're compiling to allege tampering from Lane Kiffin and the members of the LSU staff. Now, this also makes too much sense. How in the world can you allege tampering if you are allowing those coaches in your building? Hey, man, they're talking to our players. Yeah, they are. They're coaching them every day. Doesn't make any sense. So Pete Golding doesn't want the LSU coaches still in his building. And Lane Kiffin doesn't want his coaches leaving because they're trying to recruit a roster. Neither of these coaches, neither of them want this arrangement. The only thing is that Golding needs Weis, and that's clear. He needs Weis to keep calling plays for them in the playoff. Everyone else doesn't matter a lick. They can get on without it. But Pete Golding said publicly 48 hours ago, our guys are going to be, these coaches will be with us all the way through the playoff. Expect them to be with us. They're invited. And Lane Kiffin has said, I'm going to let him go because I want Ole Miss to win a championship. If all of a sudden the coaches aren't going to Oxford and aren't coaching anymore in the playoffs, then everyone's going to ask one natural question. Well, whose decision was it? Did Pete Golding kick him out, or did Lane Kiffin say you can't go? Either way, it's going to look badly publicly on one of them. And both of these two guys care way too much about that. They care way too much about the optics and the public opinion. And I'm telling you, it is annoying because neither of them want this anymore. Neither of them. And neither of them need it. It's a distraction for Ole Miss, who's trying to win a national championship. It's a detriment to LSU, who's trying to recruit a roster via the portal, and its coaching staff has been going back and forth. So I don't think it's any coincidence that after Friday from this past week, Weis was the only one that went back. And I think Kevin Smith going back on Sunday had more to do with Kejuan Lacey than it did actually preparing for the college football playoff, because there's a growing sentiment. We may get word while I'm on the air today that just like with the announcement of Chambliss staying, Ole Miss has upped the ante to keep Kejuan Lacey in Oxford. And it sounds like that momentum has shifted to him staying. And if that's the case, like that's why Kevin Smith went back, was to go try to make sure Kejuan Lacey ended up in Baton Rouge, which may not really happen. So all that to say, it is petty and annoying and small. I mean, I get Ole Miss is pissed. I get it. Their coach left them in the middle of a playoff run. I get it. I do. I can totally sympathize. I do. And they are playing so well, and this is a run like they haven't had in 6 decades, and they feel like it's been muddied by a guy who they thought was their guy. I get it. And there's a lot of ways you can vilify Lane Kiffin. If you want to vilify Lane Kiffin, there are a lot of ways to do it. And I understand LSU folks are going to line up to defend their guy because he's their guy now. Same guy you laughed at and criticized. My hand's in the air too, but you're going to line up to defend your guy. And I think there's a lot of criticism of Lane that's warranted, and he still has a lot to prove. But my goodness, like this entire thing from the Ole Miss side, the inability to focus solely on the main thing, which is go try to win a championship, while continuing to look in your rear view at your former coach and trying to throw jabs and barbs at him to hurt him however you can, is just stupid. And from LSU's perspective and Lane Kiffin's perspective, the task is singular. Build a great roster in this portal class and go win football games. Because all of this ancillary nonsense goes away if Labor Day weekend LSU beats Clemson in Tiger Stadium, and then you're off and running. When September you go to Oxford and you beat Ole Miss, you're off and running. And all of this conversation quiets. It's a long way to go till you get there, and you got a lot of work to do to get there. But that's the only thing that's going to stop it. So prepare yourself, because there's going to be more of this, because little brother in Oxford is proving, again, why they're little brother in Oxford and have been for the last 6 decades. But they are on a hell of a run right now. And in this format, they got a great chance to go win. They can win 2 more games. Wouldn't surprise me a lick if they win their next 2 games and win a championship. Now, I think Indiana's going to win it, but it is it's going to be fascinating to watch the on-field product, and this is clearly going to continue to be fascinating as they move through the college football playoff and throughout this portal cycle. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. I'm late. Ross Jackson, we'll talk some Who-Dat. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for decades. Get Gordon and get it done, no matter what type of accident you've been in. Yes, we talk about car wrecks, big truck wrecks, if it's workers' comp, or lots of different types of accidents. Ultimately, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You can trust the team at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. They have the resources, the knowledge, the know-how, the experience to get you the most amount of money. If you want to learn about the types of cases they handle, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You want to see client results, actual clients, and what they've said about their case and how Gordon and his team handled their case, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You can see the client testimonials on the top of the homepage. You want to chat with an associate? You could do it. Getgordon.com, getgordon.com. There's a chat bubble on the homepage. Just click that chat bubble. Boom. In seconds, you're chatting with an associate at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Whatever you do, if you've been injured, make sure you get Gordon and get it done.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabre Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabreChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boilermakers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 17.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, waiting on Ross Jackson, trying to link up. We're just having a phone issue, or okay. One quick update. So Jace Brown, the Kansas State wide receiver, is on his way to LSU, I'm told. So 3 receivers. So I know Sam Leavitt was set to arrive at LSU today, 2 p.m., and then 3 receivers were visiting. Trey Brown from Old Dominion is on campus already. As I was told, the 3 were arriving this afternoon and into the evening. So Trey Brown is one of them. Jace Brown from Kansas State is on the way, and I have not yet gotten word on who the 3rd is. Want to do? I'll let you know. Saints. Yep. Oh, what? Okay. Saints season wrapped. Year 1 of the Kellen Moore era. 6-11. Ross Jackson was there every step of the way. He was in Atlanta on Sunday. He's with us now. How are you, dude?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, always. Okay, if I was asking you to write the lead for the 2025 season, the postmortem, how would it look or read?
The New Orleans Saints just finished the most optimistic 6-11 season that the Big Easy has seen probably in its history.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons for that. Let's start with probably the most obvious, which is Tyler Shuck. Suffice to say, Ross, the Saints are going into this offseason not looking for a quarterback. They feel like they got their guy they want to build around. How optimistic would you say the organization is internally about Shuck that they found their guy?
Yeah, I think they're very, very optimistic. And I think you're right to say, look, they're going into 2026 knowing that they don't have to go and look for a quarterback. But I don't think they're going to push the agenda around the idea that he's a franchise quarterback. They're going to let that kind of happen organically, give him 2026 and allow him to be able to do all that. Not because they don't believe that he can do it, but, Mickey Loomis has kind of gone on record already as saying, look, they don't want to put that kind of pressure on the young quarterback coming out of his rookie season. But there's a lot of promise there. There's a lot of optimism and certainly momentum around what Tyler Shuck was able to do, particularly in his starts towards the end of the season. And you've seen the way that the players have rallied around him, have talked about him. Chris Olave, talking about kind of being his front runner for Rookie of the Year and really pushing that. And guys like Demario Davis and Chase Young talking about, having their solidified QB1 and everything. I think there's a lot of optimism around where things are going with Tyler Shuck at the starting quarterback spot.
Ross, for all the talk about offense, and it's justified because of the excitement around Shuck, for me, the biggest or maybe most surprising storyline was the defense, which, Ross, a year ago, they were bad. They were where did they finish 30th in the NFL in total defense? It was a bad defense. And throughout the course of this year, they became one of the best defenses. How did Brandon Staley do it as this season unfolded?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is that Brandon Staley is a really good defensive coach. I mean, he's an outstanding defensive mind. But I think that he also got the right guys. Remember at the beginning of the year, Matt, we were talking about, Brandon Staley's coming in. He's a really good coach, but he's a 3-4 guy. Do they have the personnel to do it? And early on in the season, it didn't look like they did. And then throughout the year, as everybody kind of settled into their new roles, and all of a sudden Carl Granderson's over here snagging interceptions, and Chase Young's got as Carl Granderson called it yesterday, a 10-piece chicken nugget. He's got a 10-sack season under his belt now. Cam Jordan's revitalized. I think he just did a really good job of finding ways to utilize the players, the talent of the players that he had in the system that he runs, and he did it really successfully. There's a lot of stuff that the Saints kind of ranked top 10 in on defense. I'm actually working on this story right now over at LouisianaSports.net, and a big part of total defense, yards per play, rushing yards per play, all in the top 10 in the NFL. But rushing yards per play stands out to me big time because they faced the 3rd most rushes in the NFL. And we're talking about a team that was 31st in yards per rush last year. And now all of a sudden they were a top 10 run defense in that category specifically. I think the job that Brandon Staley did with this New Orleans Saints defense with a roster he majority inherited is remarkably impressive. And so I hats off to him, hats off to the players as well for contributing there. I'm really intrigued and interested to see what kind of shifts and changes happen over the course of this offseason to maybe better tool the roster to what it is that Brandon Staley wants to do moving forward.
Ross, how much, if I were to play devil's advocate, of the defensive improvement had to do with the fact that you faced the Seahawks and the Bills and the Niners and the Bears and the Rams all in the first half of the season, and the improvement came in the second half when it was a lot of NFC South and Dolphins and Jets and Titans?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about how much this team struggled in in 2024 on the defensive side, right? And that was a year where they were facing a bad Dallas Cowboys team. They were going up against that same NFC South division. They were taking on teams like the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants, and the Washington Commanders at that time were probably a little bit better than they are now, but this team also played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Las Vegas Raiders last season. And I think you saw this defense with a lot of the same personnel, but with a different system, different coach, different leadership, struggle facing an easy schedule. This time, even if we wanted to say that they did face an easy schedule this year, which they did, if you look at strength of schedule, they excelled in those situations. So I think that if we applied that logic in 2025, going back to 2024, you could still mark the improvement from one easy schedule to the next.
Ross Jackson, you can read him at louisianasports.net. Listen or watch Locked on Saints every single day. Okay, let's talk about Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, and Kellen Moore, the head coach. Let's start with Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator. I know you charted so much of this throughout the start of the season, where, and I can't cite, chapter and verse here, but about some of the struggles and maybe predictability the Saints had. What was the biggest evolution as a play caller you saw from Kellen Moore this year?
Yeah, I think probably the most poignant two things were, or the two standout things were the improvement of their red zone offense, right? We were talking about this team being one of the worst red zone offenses in the last 20 years. The last 10 years. We're talking about 317 out of 320 over the course of the last 10 seasons, decade.
Say that again? Say that again?
Yeah, so out of the 320 seasons, I think this was up to week 12 or maybe through week 12, the Saints' red zone to touchdown conversion percentage ranked 317 out of 320, right? 32 teams, 10 seasons, right? And so that's where they were. And then towards the back half of the year, they became one of the best red zone offenses. And I think some of that, just to answer your question specifically about play calling, some of that was about being able to run the football more effectively in the red zone, getting away maybe from a little bit of like the Taysom Hill desire to put the ball in his hands in those short yardage situations and letting his rookie quarterback work in those sites as well. I mean, you saw the value of that in yesterday's game. There was the offensive pass interference call, but it was Tyler Shuck's mobility that almost got a touchdown in the back of the end zone to Kevin Austin Jr. were it not for that OPI call, which seemed like incidental contact. But so I think that was number one. I think the other thing, too, was Kellen Moore got way more comfortable towards the end of the season. Either him or at least the execution got more comfortable. So it would either be that he got comfortable doing it or he stressed it enough that the players got comfortable doing it, coached it up enough, was scheming wide receivers. And so finding ways to create traffic jams, finding ways to take advantage of eye candy, get the defense looking one way while you go and attack the other. I think he got really, really comfortable with all of those things and challenging some of those defensive tendencies, eye discipline, things like that.
Well, I think it also happens when you have elite weapons like Ronnie Bell, who can catch touchdowns.
Yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it. That's a big difference maker right there.
Isn't that like a great testament, though, as well? Like, it didn't matter what dudes they were running out there. They were still finding ways to produce.
Absolutely. And even that touchdown that we just talked about, right? The guy that caught the touchdown was Kevin Austin Jr., who I think going into the game had barely over 100 scrimmage yards on the season. And then the guy that was called for the offensive pass interference penalty was, Dante Pettis, who had mostly been a return specialist for them. But Dante Pettis also had this big catch and run at an earlier point in the game against Atlanta. Had a great one against Tennessee. Unfortunately, fumbled before he got into the end zone. But really good work from Kellen Moore and this New Orleans Saints offense of being able to elevate some of those role players into contributors when they needed to do that later on in the season. And you think about an Atlanta Falcons team and all the resources that they put into their roster over the course of the offseason, being sort of these offseason champions coming into 2025, 2026, they won against New Orleans by 2 points with the Saints rolling out, by the time that the game was over, only 3 starters around Tyler Shuck by the time that game was over. I think that's a pretty good testament to where the Saints were on offense as well.
Dog, I've never even heard of Samori Toure. Never heard that name in my life.
Nebraska legend Samori Toure. Come on now.
I'm sure he is. Never heard of him. But that dude's out there like on a football Sunday, like getting targets.
And he was giving his all, too. Every chance he got to dive, he did.
Again, respect. Like, I mean, that dude's playing in the NFL, respect. But, I mean,
right.
Anyway, Ross Jackson, 2 more things for you. LouisianaSports.net, Locked on Saints. Number one, all right, Kellen Moore as a head coach. Look, it wasn't that long ago, Ross. I'm out there watching him like not realize he can actually call timeouts at the end of a half in week 1 against the Cardinals. and now it feels like he evolved. In what ways did you see that for Kellen Moore, the head coach?
Yeah, the game management side was a big part of it for me. Certainly that in terms of his ability, kind of getting more comfortable, knowing when to utilize those timeouts. He even won 2 challenges by the time the season was over. He was on a cold streak on challenges as well. And so I think those pieces were absolutely there. I think the other thing is sort of the intangible nature that he brought as a head coach and sort of creating this culture, vying for a winning culture at the end of the season as opposed to settling for draft capital. I'm a big believer that the best building blocks that you can put together aren't necessarily your draft picks. It's the culture that you bring those draft picks into. And I think that Kellen Moore created something that players are going to want to be a part of. And then even down to, he handed out, he handed out 13 game balls in 1 week and then 9 game balls the next week. So it was 22 game balls in 2 weeks to players over, things like, hey, you got your first career touchdown. You have this many sacks. You did this, you did that. Just giving out sort of these accolades to these players so that they all felt like they were a part of everything. And I think that those were other places where you certainly saw him get a little bit more comfortable throughout the season of being authentic and leading the way that he wanted to lead in that locker room.
Last thing, as they go into the offense, as they go into the off season, how do you prioritize needs for this roster?
I start on the offense. We have to acknowledge that this was since the year 2000, the worst first quarter team we've seen in the NFL in terms of point differential, minus 93 points in the first quarter. And the next worst after that was minus 92, but it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 2011. So it's been a while since we've seen an offense that struggled this much to start early. And so I think that's got to be a big thing that you're looking at is on the offensive side, adding up more firepower, giving your rookie quarterback the tools that he needs to, A, be protected on the offensive line, which I think free agency provides you that, and then B, go out there and take, instead of elevating those role players into contributors, elevating contributors into playmakers, elevating playmakers into elite pieces. And so if you can do that in a draft by putting some juice around him, if you will, I think that's got to be kind of the way that I would look at prioritizing the offseason. I do think that there's value in adding on the defensive side, don't get me wrong, but I really feel like a heavy offensive focus could go a long way for this team in the offseason.
If you aren't subscribed yet, podcast or YouTube, make sure you do it. Locked on Saints every single day, and you can read him for free over at LouisianaSports.net. He's Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson NOLA, if you want to get him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Always appreciate it, man. Thanks for the work this year.
Thank you, buddy. Always appreciate you. Take care. Stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. That's Ross Jackson. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. The holidays are behind us, but it's never a bad time, especially with Louisiana weather and Louisiana roads, to get out and see our friends over at Shawbills if you need that work done to your vehicle. They've been nominated over at Shawbills in the Advocates Best of Baton Rouge. You can go vote. They got the links there at their Facebook page and on their social media. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, proudly serving Baton Rouge and South Louisiana since 1968. They're pushing 6 decades now since they opened their doors. And you want to know how you stay in business that long? Because you give people the best tires at a great price. And when they're there, they treat you like family. And so you keep coming back year after year after year. That's Shawbills. Pretty easy. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all. Halfway home here on this Monday edition. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year to everybody who's hanging out with us. Hope you had a great, safe, happy, healthy celebration, a wonderful, prosperous 2026. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, I want to kind of give you an update on the state of the running back room at LSU with exactly the conversations I had with both Attorney Chris Perrette and District Attorney Hiller Moore about JT Lindsey. I'll share with you the conversations I had with those two men on Sunday about JT Lindsey's situation, with actually an update on Lindsey's opportunity to return to LSU in 2026. We'll get into all that next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance moving into 2026. And if you're planning an event in 2026, make sure that you call my friend Allison Crump. She's the event coordinator of both the Renaissance and the Watermark. The Watermark's downtown, the Renaissance Southtown. We talk about the Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge near I-10, across from the mall in Perkins Row. Beautiful, sprawling hotel with more than 13,000 square feet of meeting space. And they can manipulate any nook and cranny of their building to host your event, to accommodate your event. I told you, we had the launch party for LouisianaSports.net. We had it at the Renaissance, but what they did was they brought a small riser, put it on the side of Tallulah, the restaurant where I did my show. They brought a makeshift, like a portable bar that they wheeled in there for our guests. And in the lobby area that went indoor, outdoor into the terrace, that's where our guests were able to hang, indoor, outdoor flow. No matter how big your event, what type of event, make sure you know about Renaissance Baton Rouge. Right there on Bluebonnet, it's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to RP.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Rolling along here, Monday edition of AFR. First show of 2026. Happy New Year. Glad you're hanging out with us. We always appreciate Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. LSU has to make over their offense here in this 2026 portal cycle. I don't think that's breaking news to anyone. One of the positions that is certainly worth talking about is the running back spot. I want to kind of give you a bit of a whip around here and what's happening and what we're looking forward to at running back. Because as you well know, I was able to break the story over at LouisianaSports.net on New Year's Eve. Harlem Berry agreed to a deal to return to LSU. That was fantastic news. I know there were a lot of folks that were nervous that Berry would follow Frank Wilson to Ole Miss. It was very clear that Harlem Berry wanted to be at LSU, and this new staff came in and prioritized Harlem Berry. Now, and they got that deal done, and I told you before we went on vacation, there were 5 players that LSU would prioritize. It was Harlem Berry, it was Whit Weeks, it was Trey'Dez Green, it was center Braylon Moore, and who am I missing? DJ Pickett. So 4 of those 5 are done. The one we're waiting on is Braylon Moore, and I was told on Saturday that they are nearing a deal. It's basically just working out the verbiage in the contract, but that they're working on finalizing a deal for Braylon Moore to return, which would be fantastic news. But as a result, what that meant was with Berry returning and with all of the conversation about LSU trying to add Kewan Lacey, which I have no problem on the record saying this, Ole Miss had a $1.8 million offer on the table for Kewan Lacey. He was still expected to join Kevin Smith in Baton Rouge. In the last 48 hours, that momentum has shifted as Ole Miss has prioritized retaining Kewan Lacey. I'm trying to get what that number is, but I was told LSU was willing to go above that 1.8 to get him, and Ole Miss may have countered even higher. So if I get that number, I'll tell you. But it feels like that has shifted, and I would not be surprised at this point if you hear an announcement from Ole Miss of Lacey staying, similar to what you got at Trinidad Chambliss. Well, with Berry returning, the smoke around Kewan Lacey, their LSU running backs went in the portal. Caden Durham in the portal, Caleb Jackson in the portal, Juwan Johnson in the portal. You did not sign a running back in this most recent class. So you've got Harlem Berry was your only scholarship running back. LSU has added a running back in Racine Guillory out of Utah. Now, he's a freshman, 5'9", 192. He's got a relationship with Kevin Smith. So there's a little bit, he's from Fort Worth, so a little bit of knowledge there of the prospect. And then over the weekend, they had Carter Vargas on a visit. Now, Carter Vargas is from UC Davis, 2 seasons there at UC Davis. This season, just 67 carries for 445 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that would be a depth piece behind Harlem Berry. But you probably still need more. And again, there's uncertainty now about Kewan Lacey, as that feels like that has shifted toward Lacey staying in Oxford. Now, again, wouldn't be surprised if you hear an announcement soon about Lacey staying at Ole Miss. But JT Lindsey becomes the really interesting other possibility here. So remember JT Lindsey, he was from Alexandria, was a top 150 overall player in the country, top 10 running back in the 2025 class. Shows up at LSU, he's going through fall camp, and then he gets arrested. He's charged with accessory after the fact. If you don't remember the story, there were 2 men who were charged with murder, or wanted on murder charges, and JT Lindsey let them stay at his dorm on campus. Now, he cooperated fully with investigators, and with everything I've been able to learn about this, he told investigators he had no idea that those 2 men were wanted for anything, and they just sort of rode around on scooters and stayed at his apartment or his dorm on campus for a couple of days in July. Well, because he had felony charges against him, the university policy is that if you have a felony charge, you are ineligible. Now, you can still go to class, and you can still use facilities. You're just suspended from team activities. So Lindsey continued working out at football ops. He went to class. Chris Perrett told me that Lindsey was actually made the dean's list in the fall semester, made a 3.4 GPA, so congrats to him. And on New Year's Eve, Chris Perrett was notified in writing from the district attorney that they filed formal notice with the sheriff and LSU PD declining prosecution of Lindsey. So that's fantastic news that JT Lindsey has had this legal situation cleared up. So he has been reinstated by the university to the football team, and I can confirm that JT Lindsey has met with Lane Kiffin, Kevin Smith's staff, and they have invited him to return in 2026 if he wants to. Now, Lindsey has entered his name into the transfer portal. Maybe this is an opportunity for him to test the market, to see what's out there, if there is an opportunity for him elsewhere. But I think this is something where you could see some shift in momentum. Again, I don't know what JT Lindsey is planning to do, but a lot of the momentum in the push with the running back room was about retaining Harlem Berry and getting Kewan Lacey. I told you earlier that Kevin Smith went back to Oxford on Sunday, and I don't think that was to work with this team in advance of the semifinal. I think that was to go try to recruit Kewan Lacey to LSU, and I don't know that it's going to work. But if Lacey ends up staying at Ole Miss, and you've got Harlem Berry, and then now you've got Racine Guillory committed, who really had 1 rushing attempt this year at Utah and sort of a depth piece, you're going to have to fill that running back room with multiple bodies. You can't go into the season with 2. I mean, you love 4 or 5 scholarship running backs at a time. Again, you've got Carter Vargas, who took a visit this past weekend. We'll see what happens there from UC Davis. We'll see what happens with him there. But JT Lindsey remains an option. And as I've been told, he has been given the opportunity to rejoin the team in 2026 by this staff if he chooses to. So one worth watching as this portal cycle spins. We'll see if he takes visits, what he chooses to do. But remember, that was a top 10 running back in the country from Alexandria who has the opportunity of returning. Could very well be a very, very solid fallback plan for this new staff if, in fact, Kejuan Lacey ends up picking Ole Miss. But until that happens, we'll see what happens as this moves along. It's just hard to imagine the targets that LSU would have from Ole Miss, as we've talked about, going into the portal until their season is over. So a lot of people have asked, how did Ole Miss beating Georgia affect LSU? Well, in this way. If Ole Miss had lost to Georgia on New Year's Day, I think on January 2nd, all those coaches would have been in Baton Rouge, and the Ole Miss players that were toying with the idea of going in the portal that through their representation had agents or had deals in place from LSU would have been in the portal. But Ole Miss won. The coaches have continued sort of the back and forth, and those players haven't entered the portal, and it's allowed Ole Miss to continue recruiting them, prioritizing them, and I think you have a very strong feeling from Ole Miss boosters like, we're not going to let LSU come and poach our roster. And so they're opening checkbooks, and listen, success begets success. And when you have success, it's easier to go to boosters and say, hey, we want to keep this guy. They're trying to get him. Can you help us out even more? And I think you're seeing a lot of that motivation in Oxford right now. So, yes, absolutely. Ole Miss winning has complicated the plan via the portal and the roster-building plan for LSU in many different ways, and certainly running back is one of those key ways. So we'll continue to follow that as it develops. But keep an eye on JT Lindsey and what happens there again. He's been legal situation's been cleared up. He's been reinstated by LSU, and he has an offer from Lane Kiffin and the staff to return in 26 if he chooses, so one to watch. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, 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 ARCCO, arco.com. Man, what a great business. Such an impressive business if you're not familiar. They're on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, but they've got offices all over this sort of quad state area. From far east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, north to Little Rock. If you're just draw a big circle. If you're anywhere in that circle and you're a business, grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, municipalities, and power goes out and say, what do we do when power goes out? Arco. Industrial standby Generac generators for your industrial facility, for your business. You need Arco Power Systems. Check them out online at arco.com. Everything's turnkey. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We'll knock out our final break of hour number 2 in this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. We'll do Tigers and the Pros. We will give you sort of a full portal recap, who's visited, who's committed, who's leaving, all that stuff coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. So stay with us on AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. A Rev trenching front yards in my neighborhood as we speak. Well, actually, I don't know if they're literally doing it right now at 4:47 p.m. Central Time on a Monday, but they are trenching our neighborhood as they're laying fiber throughout my neighborhood. Maybe they've done it for yours as well. And if you're not sure, it's worth a call to Rev. Or visit the website at Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com, REV, Let'sRev.com is the website. Listen, we're talking about an all-fiber network, lightning-fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs. You ever get sick of slow internet, the little wheel spinning? Maybe as you're watching your connected TV, if it's a little slow, what if you had speeds up to 5 gigs backed by the power of an all-fiber network, which means when the storm comes, the wind blows, knocks tree branches on your power line, knocks power, you don't have to worry about it because the lines are underground. That's Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2, presented by Relief Windows. Talk some portal with the regular season over, the season over for the New Orleans Saints. We know where they'll draft and who their opponents for 2026 will be as they'll play a last place schedule. So we'll get some of that coming up here in about 20, 25 minutes or so. Oh, and there was a football game in Pasadena on New Year's Day that I haven't talked about yet. Might find my way, stumble upon that coming up in hour 3. I don't know if we'll have time. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have time. We have time for right now is Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll start with Browns-Bengals from Sunday. Joe Burrow, 236 yards, just 10 incompletions in the game. 236, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Also toted the ball twice for 17 yards. You might be guessing or assuming that Jamar Chase is on the receiving end of a lot of it. He was. 8 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown for Jamar Chase. Bengals missed the playoffs. Grant Delpit was on the other side for Cleveland and had a really nice day. 10 total stops for the former Tigers safety, including a sack of Joe Burrow, and he also had an additional hit on the quarterback as well. Justin Jefferson, his quest for 1,000 yards was successful. Just getting over the hump there was Jefferson. Only 2 touchdowns on the season, though. Capped off with an 8-reception, 101-yard day. Damone Clark was a star for the Houston Texans. 6 tackles to lead the team on Sunday against the Colts. Not to be outdone, Danielle Hunter, 2 stops, including a sack, his 15th sack of the season. That now gives him 4 straight seasons with double-digit sacks, 7 of those seasons overall in his career. Devin White closed out a really strong campaign as well. 6 stops in the game, a sack and a half in the game, and an additional hit on the quarterback also. Really nice bounce-back year for Devin White. Kayvon Chason, 3 stops and a sack in that game for New England as they just bludgeoned the Dolphins. And then a quick hat tip here. Mekhi Wingo and Jalen Mills, both in action for the Lions on Sunday, both of them with 2 stops in the game. Jalen Mills joined them pretty late in the season. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Rouse's, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Holiday is behind us, but man, it's always a good day to get by Rouse's. Maybe you're making groceries for your mom and them. Get them by Rouse's. Really convenient way to do that is pull out the Rouse's app. Remember, your personal shop, pick out your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them up for you. And if it's $35 or more, pay for it in the app. That service is free. Pull up into one of the designated spots. They'll bring it out to your vehicle. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but it's king cake time, y'all. You want to get the best king cake in the world? You go to Rouse's. All the different flavors, delicious, and shipping nationwide. Go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Order online at Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. I might go to Rouse's later tonight. Give me some sardines. How's that sound, Muse? Sardines for dinner. Had some for lunch today.
Sounds good to you.
Had some for lunch. Don't be a punk. Don't believe the propaganda. Sardines are delicious. Get you some sardines. Trust me. Safe.
After further review.
Man, I am so excited as we move into 2026 to continue another year of our partnership with Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU athletics. You know, Our Lady of the Lake and LSU should be synonymous. When you think Our Lady of the Lake, think LSU. When you think LSU, think Our Lady of the Lake. Of course, the physicians at Our Lady of the Lake, incredible. They do an amazing job of caring for the LSU student athletes, but also the LSU students, as Our Lady of the Lake has the contract for the LSU Student Health Center there as well. You know, maybe you find yourself in need of seeing a physician on short notice. They have the Lake After Hours clinics. As a matter of fact, Erica came down with strep throat during the holiday. About 8 o'clock at night, had to roll her into one of the Lake After Hours clinic. Or maybe you want to see your GP, Dr. Kurt Chastain, part of the Lake Men's Health Group. That's where I'm a member. No matter what subspecialty you may need, Our Lady of the Lake can care for you. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boilermakers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A couple more coaching changes made on this day after the end of the 2025 NFL regular season. Raiders fired Pete Carroll after 1 year. Jonathan Gannon out following 3 seasons with the Cardinals. And Kevin Stefanski, after 6 seasons, dismissed by the Browns. Add those to the Giants, Titans, and Falcons vacancies. Might the Ravens be the 7th team with a head coach opening? ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
At this point, we don't have reason to believe the Ravens are considering moving on from John Harbaugh or that he's considering moving on from them. But they've come to the end of an extremely disappointing season. There's been enough noise and chatter around this and around the uncertainty with Lamar Jackson and his future contract situation that we're watching it. I think still the likelihood is that John Harbaugh is back next year.
Mike McDaniel told reporters today he'll remain the head coach of the Dolphins and will be part of the team's interview process for its next GM. Also confirmed there'll be a quarterback competition in 2026. Meanwhile, Dolphins QB Tua Tagovailoa benched the last 3 games, said he is open to a fresh start. His salary cap hit for 2026, $56 million.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. If you are navigating your way through the first workday of 2026, as am I, welcome. Welcome to the party. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Busy time around LSU. I got a question on the text line here as we were starting the hour, and someone asked me, his name was Robert, and he said, Matt, it seemed like on January 2nd, there are going to be all these moves and transfers, but there's only been a few. Is that what you expected? How does that stack up to other schools? It's a great question, a very fair question. And I've told you, the word that I had been told was that people around the program thought January 2nd would be, quote, explosive. And I think it is very fair to say that so far that has not been the case. You've got 3 portal additions as of right now, and all 3 of them are really depth pieces. The first add was Jackson Harris. Now, LSU has got to make over their receiver room. You've lost your top 4 guys from this season and a whole bunch of depth. And I think, as we talked about, it is very evident from the beginning that Lane Kiffin was going to target a very specific skill set at receiver that he wanted to bring in. We told you about it on signing day when they didn't honor Kenny Darby's scholarship. They brought in the guy who had been committed to Ole Miss. They got a flip from Oklahoma. They know what they're looking for at receiver. So the question is, do you trust Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock and George McDonald and their evaluation of this position. Jackson Harris this year was a big play waiting to happen. At Hawaii, 49 catches for just under 1,000 yards, a dozen touchdowns, averaged 19.7 yards per reception. 6'3", 205. He is everything you hoped you had a year ago in Nick Anderson. We'll see if he is. Just finished his sophomore year there on the island. Now he's coming to Baton Rouge. That's a big-time get. The other two, but it's worth mentioning at receiver, we've talked about it pretty openly here. The two players on Ole Miss's roster at receiver that LSU was targeting via the portal in some of that legal tampering period were Winnie Watkins and Deuce Alexander, who very well could and I think are expected still to join the LSU program when Ole Miss's season ends. I think those guys will go in the portal and they'll end up at LSU. Again, all of that is subject to change, as we've seen with what's happened with Trinidad Chambliss over the last week and Kewan Lacey, as that feels like that started to turn a little bit. But Harris, one receiver, already in the boat. As we speak, LSU's got 3 more receivers on campus visiting today, on this Monday. So one of them is Jace Brown from Kansas State, and the other is Trey Brown from Old Dominion. So they are going heavy at receivers. They have to rebuild that entire room. But after Jackson Harris, the other two adds are Racine Guillory, running back from Utah, and Malachi Thomas, the tight end from Pitt. Racine Guillory is from Fort Worth, but he had 1 rushing attempt this year at Utah. But he was recruited by this staff, by Kevin Smith, to try to get to Ole Miss when he ended up at Utah. So there's familiarity with the player, but you're talking about a guy that at this point is a depth piece behind Harlan Berry. And then Malachi Thomas, tight end from Pitt. He was a 3-star coming out of high school, went to Pitt, where he's been. And you're talking about a guy with limited productivity as well with Malachi Thomas. So that is a guy who is a depth piece behind Trey'Dez Green. But you needed to sort of remake your tight end room because after Trey'Dez Green, you only had J.D. LaFleur and then the high school commit you had this year. But here in Malachi Thomas, 13 catches, $192, 2 touchdowns this year. So yes, absolutely. It is fair to say at this point, thought there might be more fireworks. That's fine. What I'm going to tell you, though, is, and if you follow the show for any length of the time, I'll give you this comp, and I think it'll make sense. Usually when we talk about recruiting, I try not to have any type of reaction or overreaction one way or another to a commitment, signing, or picking another school, whatever the case may be. Because the reality is you can't sign everyone. So when the class is done, can you pull back, look at the 10,000-foot view and say, did you address your needs with good players? I think that's really the target. Like, we could talk about some of the quote-unquote misses. Like, if you want to go back to last year's signing class. Okay, well, Jakeem Stewart and some of the, obviously Bryce Underwood was a huge one. You lost a cornerback to Texas in the 11th hour. But you retained a guy like DJ Pickett, who was massive for you as a freshman and is back now for his sophomore year. So pull back to the 10,000-foot view and take and assess the roster. So as of right now, there's so much work to be done. You got to get multiple quarterbacks. You've got to sign at least 3 starting caliber offensive linemen. You're going to have to sign probably 5 or 6 receivers in this portal class. You've got a tight end. You've already got 1 running back. You're probably going to try to add another. When we look at everything that they have to do, there's so much still to be done as this portal class goes along. And I want to remind you of the numbers, because we've had this conversation about what is the proper way to build a roster, high school recruiting or portal. And I know overwhelmingly what you all think. And the way I keep saying it is you've got to reframe how you think about building a roster, because it is no longer sensible to think you're going to build your roster through high school recruiting. Because in a given year, a quarter of your roster turns over. So after 2 seasons, half of your signing class is gone. The thought of get a guy here, have him sit for 2 years, play as a junior, or be a starter as a junior is just not plausible. Guys don't wait anymore. They don't have to, because there are desperate teams all over the country that will pay or overpay or pay more than what you will for a backup to have him go be a starter wherever they are, and they could play. So it is no longer sensible to think of it that way. I liked that approach. But the larger the sample size grows, the more information you get, you can make a more informed decision. It's like dating. It's the best analogy there is. You start dating someone with an idea because you think they're pretty or you like they're attractive and you like their personality, so you start dating. Like, you never start dating someone thinking this is a terrible idea. You start dating someone because you got the butterflies in your belly. Well, as you go along in a relationship and you gather more information, you maybe realize that you're not compatible as you learn more. Well, it doesn't mean you were wrong at the onset. You've just learned more. Well, at the onset of portal, NIL, all this stuff, you could think of a way to do it, recruit and develop from high school, supplement in the portal. But look at what Lane Kiffin has done at Ole Miss. In the last 4 years, he went from his portal classes went from 20 to 23 to 26 to 30. The Ole Miss team right now that's in the national semifinal had 30 portal additions. And I'm here to tell you, Coach, this LSU roster in 2026 is going to have 30 portal additions. So how do you break that down? I think it's going to end up being, I don't know if I'll give you an exact number, but if you look at Ole Miss from a year ago, 20 of those, I think it was 19 were offensive guys and 11 were defensive guys. I'm telling you, this LSU roster, this portal class, I think is going to be single-digit defensive players. It's going to be overwhelmingly offense. You've got to rebuild your offensive line. You've got to rebuild your receiver room. You got to get a quarterback, running backs. And you're going to say, well, that's not plausible or sustainable. I don't care what you think. And you shouldn't care what I think. That's irrelevant. Because what is here is what Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are doing. This is how they're going to build the roster. And every year you reset. It's 1 year free agency. And if the NCAA changes some rule to dissuade or disallow that, then you pivot. Pivot! But as of right now, this is how they're going about doing it, because this is sort of a proven model. Half the quarterbacks in the college football playoff this year are first-year starters that were transfers. Okay, don't tell me it can't be done. Can you get someone to stay and wait and develop? It just doesn't happen that way, at least not at large numbers. So you're going to do what Lane Kiffin said. They're going to sign the best high school players they can, and then they're going to go ham in the portal with their war chest. So at this moment, did I think by Monday the 5th they would have had more than 3 commitments? Yes. Yes, I did. Am I worried? No. Because they have a giant pile of cash to burn, a new coach who people know has tons of name recognition. All of these guys, Chaz Coleman from Penn State, Sam Leavitt right now, all these top-tier guys are coming to campus on visits. So there's interest. You got to close them. See if they can. So get back with me in 7 days, 14 days, as we move throughout this portal cycle, and then tell me what the roster looks like. You know, you could be disappointed. Like, I'm disappointed that Teron Francis went in the portal. Like, that dude, they call him Manchild from Edna Carr. He might have been the most impressive receiver in fall camp this year. Might have been. And he was your 7th best guy. Because you just had a logjam. That dude, I have no doubt in my mind, none, that Teron Francis could have been an impactful wide receiver for LSU in 2025. But you had Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas and Berrien Brown and Nick Anderson and Kyle Parker and a bunch of dudes that were older and veteran capable as well. And Trey'Dez Green. So he was just buried on the depth chart. So now you're going into the portal and you're probably going to add a couple of guys from Ole Miss. You added a guy from Hawaii. You got other targets that you have out there. So what does that mean for Francis in 2026? Don't know. So he's going to go somewhere where he can play. Okay. That's just the nature of it. Understanding that every roster is going to be built year to year. And so get with me at the end of this portal cycle and let's pull back, take the 10,000-foot view and look at it. Not 72 hours into it. So we'll keep following it as we learn more, and there's many more to come. They're going to add 30 guys in this portal class. And we'll continue to find out who they are. And you can follow it for free, of course, over at louisianasports.net. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Brought to you by Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. I don't know if they had Evamore in Las Vegas. I didn't find any. It was really disappointing, but I had to stay hydrated. But I'll tell you, landing back in Louisiana, being able to go to the store, grab some Evamore, go to my fridge, grab some Evamore, it's part of my day. Huge part of health is making sure that you eat real food, you sleep, you move your body, and you stay hydrated. Best way to stay hydrated is with natural artesian water, Evamore. EVAMOR, a Louisiana product. Find out where you can buy it at evamore.com, or buy it online at evamore.com. EVAMOR, evamore.com. Okay, y'all. Glad you're hanging out with us. Jimmy will be here in 30 minutes for Auto Locks. What do you think? We'll have time, maybe in about 15 minutes, to circle back to New Year's Day. That game that was played in Pasadena. It was rainy in Pasadena. Saw that?
It was pouring in Pasadena.
Golly.
That was I think that game you're talking about had the largest audience actually of any of the quarterfinals.
Oh wow!
So a lot of people saw it.
A lot of people saw that game.
A lot of people saw that game.
Maybe the rain wasn't rain. Maybe it was tears. Yeah, well, maybe if we have time, we'll get to it. I don't know if we'll have time. Nice little Saturday. Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if we'll have time. Maybe. 14 minutes. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Happy New Year from our friends over at Glow Resources. GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. I love when some of you, this happens a lot, you business owners, HR managers, hiring managers, operations managers, who will hit me up on my text line or DM me or something like that, email me. Hey, man, I hear you talk about Glow. I do this type of business. Is it worth giving a call? Overwhelmingly, the answer is yes. What you need to know about what Glow Resources does for your business, they are not a temp staffing agency. They're trying to find a permanent hiring solution for you in whatever business that you're in. Now, they specialize in skilled blue-collar labor. So welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, all your heavy equipment, heavy machinery, they specialize there. So if you're having trouble finding permanent solutions, you need Glow Resources, glowresources.com. But their professional placement division can help with any type of office job as well. Check them out online, GLO, glowresources.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
The Saints wrapped up year one of the Kellen Moore era, 6-11. But as we've said quite a bit here, a lot of optimism around this team. It's amazing what happens when you feel solidified at quarterback. For all the conversation we had about Derek Carr, you always knew that your ceiling was lower. Your floor felt higher. You wouldn't crater and be a 2-3 win team, but your ceiling was lower. Same with Andy Dalton. It's what the team was. With Tyler Shuck, I think you look at this team and go, man, like, did you just draft the next Josh Allen? Like, is he a potential MVP? And I'm not putting all the pressure in the world on him saying that is going to be his reality. What I'm saying is it could be. When you look at the decision-making, the arm strength, the mobility, the moxie, the leadership, the production with nobody surrounding him on offense was incredibly impressive, and it's a great reason for optimism around the team. So the Saints go into this offseason with some pretty clear needs. And I'm going to tell you, when we look at the draft, now this is what's interesting. The Saints are going to pick 8th, and had they beaten Atlanta, they would have been tied with Miami, but because of the strength of schedule, they would have drafted 11th. So the Saints, by virtue of their loss to Atlanta, actually improved 3 spots in the draft. Now, again, to be clear, because I don't want to be accused of being a hypocrite and talking out of both sides of my mouth. I wanted the Saints to win games at the end. I was not wanting them to tank to get a higher draft pick, because I felt like winning those games, like the reason we can have the conversation about Tyler Shuck and the optimism around him is because that dude found ways in the fourth quarter to go win games. It's like if he had just put up some empty yards and they kept losing, we might be saying it was a garbage time yards, but he was finding ways to win. So we go into this offseason thinking, all right, you got your quarterback. Now, time will tell if he's actually a franchise quarterback, what level he is. Is he a guy that's what Derek Carr was, just a lower mid-tier starter? Is he a top 10 quarterback? Is he a franchise quarterback? Time will tell as the sample size grows, but what you know now from the half season he started is you're going into 2026 with Tyler Shuck. Like, you know, that's not even debatable. So what do you do here to build around him, I think, is the gigantic question. So you pick 8th, and for me, I think there are 3 positions that you are looking at with the 8th overall pick, provided they make it. And again, the Saints never trade down. If anything, they trade up. So I think you were looking at 3 positions. And as we're sitting here talking about the offense, I think only one of the 3 is on the offensive side of the ball. I think if you have an opportunity to draft a receiver, someone who you feel is a dynamic, like best receiver in the draft, and you could do it at 8, you do it. Now, our buddy Ross Jackson over at LouisianaSports.net has a piece up, it's free right now, where he explores 8 possible draft picks for the New Orleans Saints. Now, you can go look at any of the draft analysts, any of the rankings, the big boards, whatever. If you start looking at pass catchers, Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson and Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate are, by most accounts, the top 2 receivers in this year's draft, according to most of the scouts. Now, we'll see how that all may evolve and develop as the whole pre-draft process moves along. And if we're being honest, it'll be Cardinal Tate because he's Ohio State. And, of course, the Saints are going to draft a player from Ohio State, especially a receiver. It's just what they do. Chris Olave had a very productive season for New Orleans this year. My very staunch contention has been, remains, you cannot pay him like a number one receiver. I think Chris Olave was productive, but he was also top 5 in the NFL in targets. Yeah, of course. When you throw him the ball because there's nobody else out there to catch passes, he's going to catch passes and have receiving yards, and that's great. He's stat compiled. Tyler Shuck threw for nearly 300 yards on Sunday against Atlanta with Ronnie Bell. Samore, what was his name? I don't even remember the guy's name. That was, I have it written down here somewhere. What was that guy's name? I got it. Here it is. Samori Toure. Audric Estime had 5 catches. The point is, I think Chris Olave is a good NFL receiver. I think he's a very good number 2. But he don't make contested catches. He ain't the game changer at receiver. You need to draft that guy. You draft that guy and you put Olave out there as your number 2. It frees him up more to go against someone else's number 2. Great. That would be my number one target. The other 2 positions, I think you got to get a cornerback and an edge rusher. Now, a little bit of a caveat here with the edge rusher. Chase Young was awesome this year. Finished with double-digit sacks, as did Cam Jordan. I think you wonder, is that sustainable for Cam, and how many more years does he have to play? If you can get an elite edge rusher, like let's say if Bain from Miami, Ruben Bain is there at 8, I would have no problem running that card up to the commissioner. I do not mean this in any way to be a Homer Saints need to draft LSU guys pick, but the other is cornerback. And Mansour Delane, if he's on the board at 8 and they call his name, I'd be over the moon. If they go through the evaluation, let me rephrase this. If Brandon Staley goes through the evaluation, because I trust him, I don't trust Gum Smack and Mick. He's going to try to draft someone with a relative athletic score and go get the next version of Marcus Davenport. Peyton Turner. Who's a kid from Notre Dame they cut in year 2? What was his name? The edge? Yeah, we've all forgotten it. Top 40 pick. Way to go, Mick. No, I don't trust Mickey Loomis to get it right. What was that guy's name again? The Notre Dame? Yeah, none of us even remember his name. Whatever. Looked great getting off the bus, though. Relative athletic score, off the charts. But the point is, look it up, please. If it's Mansour Delane, if it's another corner that's rated at the top of the draft, I don't know who that would be, right? Go through your evaluation and decide who it is. Who was it?
Isaiah Foskey.
Foskey.
Yeah.
The next Foskey. If it's Mansour Delane, great. If it's another cornerback, fine. But I think what this year taught us is that Sugarwater McKinstry is not a number 1 corner. I think he's an NFL player, and I think he'd be a good number 2. But when he had to isolate on an island against the other team's number 1, he wasn't able to hang. So similar to Olave, you've drafted a number 2, a good number 2, a solid NFL player, but not someone that I want trying to lock down Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and the best, like Jackson Smith and Jigba, the best receivers in the NFL week in and week out, because everybody's got one. Everybody's got a number 1, and their number 1 receiver is going to be better than your number 1 corner most every week if your number 1 corner is Cooley McKinstry. So I draft a number 1 corner. Those would be the 3 positions: receiver, edge rusher, corner. I would love to see the Saints do that with the 8th overall pick and address those in free agency. Go get an interior offensive lineman, a young, proven starting offensive guard. Would love to see the Saints do that. You're going to get Eric McCoy back off of injury. You feel like you've drafted your 2 tackles of the future. Go fortify the interior of that line with a young free agent, a young veteran free agent, someone who's 26 years old, 4 years in the league, signed to a 4-year deal, and solidify the interior of that offensive line to protect Tyler Shuck. I mean, there's your list of needs becomes less robust when you finish the season the way they did defensively, and, of course, when you've got a quarterback that you feel like you can win with. The Saints also, as we know, will play last place schedule by virtue of the loss to Atlanta. The Saints finish 4th in the NFC South, so we know now the opponents that the Saints are going to play. At home, of course, you'll play the division, and then you'll play the Browns, Packers, Vikings, Steelers, Cardinals, Raiders, and then away you'll play the division, and you'll play at the Ravens, Bears, Bengals, Lions, and Giants. So we know that the schedule, what schedule will be for 2026 for the New Orleans Saints. Now it's about going to fill some of those roster needs and building toward what will hopefully be a return to the playoffs for the New Orleans Saints. So, of course, LSU right now is recruiting many of these transfer portal guys, and it should come as no surprise to you that where are they taking the transfer portal targets? The Supper Club. On Friday, Chaz Coleman, the edge rusher from Penn State, was at Supper Club. On Saturday, Brendan Sorsby got him a free meal over at Supper Club. So I would say they would take Sam Leavitt there, but they're closed on Mondays. So Supper Club's not open tonight. But, of course, every Tuesday to Saturday, you want the best meal of your life. You want to take someone somewhere to impress them? You take them to Supper Club. Just got back from Vegas, I'm going to tell you. Had some great meals in Vegas, great ambiance, a lot of fun. Don't hold a candle to Supper Club. Go have the greatest meal of your life, an exceptional dining experience. Book your reservation today at supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. They're right there on Perkins Road. Tuesday to Saturday, supperclubbtr.com. Oh, wait. I might have a little new. I don't know if I can say it. Okay, can't say it. So sorry. That's isn't that terrible?
I was about to say, you're the worst. You are the worst for that.
But that was an organic reaction. I looked down at my phone, I saw the text, and I can't say it.
Hey!
So, highly placed source informs me that Sam Leavitt tonight will be at
Supper Club?
Supper Club.
All right.
Hey, look, man. They're closed tonight. So they're opening just for him, clearly.
That's red carpet treatment.
It's a private dinner.
Hey, what do you think Sam Leavitt's going to order? You've been to Supper Club a lot. What do you think Sam Leavitt's going to get?
I don't know. I can't talk about this right now because I have to break. Because I have to talk about the football from New Year's, the Pasadena game in a second. But all I know is that they got to close it. Like, if I'm going for the Omi beef, which is just a one-of-a-kind thing that you can't find anywhere. Well, not just the Omi beef. Like, you have to start with, get the tuna app. Wow, man. I can see this is the problem, Use. See what you did?
I knew you'd have an answer there.
See what you did? Now you start, but I got to go. You started me bottom line is, LSU's trying to close a transfer portal quarterback. Where they take him? Private dinner at Supper Club. Where should you go for your birthday, anniversary, celebrate a raise, or just because you woke up today living? Supper Club. You ain't been yet, or you ain't been in a minute? Book your reservation. Supperclubbtr.com. As a matter of fact, I'm going on Thursday. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out. O-N-E. 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. Big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. Love telling you about it, man. They're great people, and they're going to do right by you. And one of the things I think sometimes people worry about when you're talking about when you have contractors that come into your house and they're dealing with something you don't know with, like, I don't know how to fix my AC unit. So I rely on reputable people who are very good at their job. With River City's 1 Hour Air, they're never going to overcharge you or upsell you or anything like that. They're never going to charge you for a service you don't need. They're going to go do an inspection, and they're going to sit down with you and explain your options. They'll have a good, better, and best option, and you decide what you want to do based on what matches your budget. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Call them today, 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Happy New Year, y'all. Muse, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Sky.
Thanks, man. Happy 2026. Paulie, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
You know, people always ask the question, how long do you say Happy New Year?
Yeah, it's good. That's a good question.
I don't think it's a good question. I think it's a stupid question. You say Happy New Year for as long as you want to tell someone Happy New Year. I don't care if it's March.
No, that'd be weird.
It's the first time I see you and it's March. I say, hey, Happy New Year. Hope you and your family are doing great. Happy 2020. Sure, whatever. Happy New Year. There's no set limit on that. And I'll tell you what. It is a Happy New Year. Actually, it's a joyous New Year. It's a thrilling, wonderful New Year. Because in the first show of 2026, I get to tell Muse, give me my music! Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
First show of 2026.
That's today.
And I'm going to wreck my voice.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Tread soft.
How can I? Did you see the Rose Bowl?
I did.
The granddaddy of them all. Pasadena, California. Right there at the foot of the San Whoever Your Mama's Mountains or whatever they call them. That stupid sunset that dictated college football's postseason for generations. Can't have an actual championship because the Rose Bowl's got to be played in the afternoon for a pretty sunset. Yeah, that's true. We let a sunset dictate our postseason and the sport we all love. But don't let me miss the point. Oh, you saw what happened in that game, didn't you?
I saw it. I watched it.
Lowly Indiana. A program that came into this season with the most losses in Division I football history. And the Hoosiers took a belt straight to your ass. Oh, don't think I'm sitting down for this one. Hey, give my chair. I'm going to give my chair. Don't think I'm sitting down for this one. 38-3. Give me more headspace, Paulie. My head's out of the camera. 38-3. Indiana took their belt off and whipped your ass up and down the field at the Rose Bowl. Over and over and over again. And you had to sit there and watch the whole damn thing. How many times? Take my headphones off. Take my headphones off. How many times I gotta tell you? I told you sitting right here. The day Nick Saban retired, I told you your charmed existence was over. I told you. I ain't never said you're gonna be bad. Never said you're gonna be awful. Never said you're never gonna win anything ever again. All I told you is, when you woke up for 17 years on a football Saturday, every damn one of them, you woke up that day knowing you were going to win. That didn't happen all the time. But you woke up knowing you were going to win. And you ain't never going to do it again. Because the GOAT is gone. And you're stuck with Hefty Harsin. Elmer Fudd with his hat big high on his head. Kalen DeBose. Oh, speaking of DeBose, 38-3. You know the last time Alabama lost a game by 35 points?
When was that?
1998. Who was the coach back in 1998?
That'd be Mike DeBose.
Could have fooled me. You sure it wasn't Kalen DeBose? By the way, last time Alabama lost by 30 or more? 1998 Music City Bowl. Who was the coach then? Say it!
Mike DeBose.
Sure it wasn't Kalen DeBose? Third 3-score loss under Kalen DeBose. Saban had 1 in 17 years. Worst loss as a program since 1991. Indiana took out that belt and beat your ass. Had to buy a new belt after this. Back-to-back 4-loss seasons. That's what you signed up for, isn't it? Mighty Alabama. Back-to-back 4 last seasons, laughing my ass off right at you. Worst postseason loss in program history. How long they been playing football? How long they been playing football?
I'm looking it up. I have no idea.
Guess.
100 years.
In 100 years? Been more than that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, way more than that.
since 1892.
$1892. You ain't never had a loss in a bowl game that bad. Indiana. You know how many 4- and 5-star recruits they got on their team?
2.
8. You know how many Bama's got?
30.
57! 57 4- and 5-star recruit, and you got dominated because you're soft. You're poorly coached. You quit. Because when your players come to the sideline, they don't see the greatest coach of all time. They see Hefty Harsin. They see Elmer Fudd with his hat high on his head. They see all golly gee shucks from South Dakota standing on the sideline trying to make a bunch of dudes in Tuscaloosa, Alabama care. Guess what? It ain't never gonna happen. Not at the level you think it should. Not at the level which you believe is your birthright. 19-8 in 2 seasons. 7-4 against the top 25 with the big one. No SEC titles. 0-2 in bowl games. No national titles. It's a 5-year drought. How do you think that's sitting in Tuscaloosa? Oh, you can kid yourself. Hey, remember we made the SEC championship game and won a college football playoff game. No doubt. That's what you sign up for in Tuscaloosa. That's what you hired Hefty Harsin for. To lose 4 games in back-to-back seasons and get your ass beat by Indiana in the Rose Bowl. Keep telling yourself that. Put your head on your pillow and take whatever moral victory you want, because I'm going to sit here as long as he's a coach and laugh my ass off at you every time Indiana beats that ass with a belt. You can count on one thing. You can count on 2 things. As long as Kalen DeBose is your coach, your championship drought will continue. That's 1. And 2, every time he pisses down his leg and y'all lose by 35 to Indiana, I'm going to be right here to remind you. Every single time. Ha 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 ha.
AFR.
Brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. For what? First South Land? Oh, no. Duplessis. Doggone it. I'll do First South Farm Credit later. DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net. Big shout out to Derek Duplessis and the team over at Duplessis Builders. 2026, if this is the year you take the plunge and put in that pool, you need to call Duplessis Builders because, well, they're the best. Pool and Spa Magazine voted them a top 50 pool builder in America, not in Baton Rouge, not in Louisiana, in the entire United States of America, because they're going to build you a beautiful pool that lasts. 10-year workmanship warranty over at Duplessis Builders. So check them out at DuplessisBuilders.net. Remember, you can go to the website. There's the Pick Your Pool tab. 11 different designs. You can pick your pool right now. You choose the finishes. Easy process. It's fun to do. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the Lake.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here, Monday edition of AFR. Presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I went and did it. First show of the year, wrecked my voice. It took me 2 weeks to recover from the end of the year, and I just went Bama's burning and wrecked my voice. Oh, well, I deserve it. All right, Otterlocks hit it.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
It is a Happy New Year. Alabama got their ass beat by Indiana, and I got to celebrate it. Lost my voice, but it was worth it.
One of my favorite picks, Indiana, in that game. So people were just saying, how you gonna give Alabama 7 points?
People betting on the logo, man. Been doing it all year.
That's absolutely right.
Easiest play, rocking chair, man. Cashing that ticket was a lot of fun.
They were the most public team in college football this year. I cited it a lot. It started with Florida State, and it ended even with a cover or a push late in the season against Auburn, some kind of way. But, I mean, the odds makers know that they were anticipating getting Alabama action no matter what line they put out there, and that was a mismatch in the Rose Bowl, no doubt about that. So we had a good finish to the bowl game, good finish to the regular season of Football Sunday. Football Sunday continues through January, through the conference championship game. So that is our schedule the rest of the way, but a real good day yesterday. And we'll start with one of our main contributors on Football Sunday, and he's an FCS guru as well. We're 35 minutes from kickoff for the FCS championship in Illinois State. He's citing strength of conference here. So they went on the road and beat North Dakota State. They've gone on and won as pretty sizable underdogs and won handily the whole time. They're catching double digits again tonight. We're going to ride this Illinois State and Randy McKay. The big dogs pick tonight. We're taking the Redbirds up plus the 10 in the FCS championship. Mm-hmm. We gave out one earlier today. It is behind. Nebraska is undefeated in that Columbus and they have a 13-point lead in the first half at Ohio State. We gave out Ohio State earlier today, so we got some ground to make up in that one against the undefeated Huskers.
That's Ohio State plus 7.5 in game. Should we take it?
Yes. I would expect a run. Here's an unranked team favored over a top 10 team, much less a ranked team. So
1 minute remaining.
Nebraska to get it done there. And then Michigan State, this is USC. They are Musselman is down all kinds of players right now. It was embarrassing watching them the other night against Michigan. They stayed in Michigan to complete the Michigan State run. And so, but going to take Michigan State coming off of a loss at Nebraska last time out, minus the 10.5. Take the Spartans minus 10.5 against the banged up USC Trojans.
Hey, it's 11.5 right now. Still worth it or no?
Yeah, but not as strong. So yeah.
All right. Otter Locks. They're posted at LouisianaSports.net. Well, it's generally a good idea to get on it early. But then again, the football game's 10.5 right now, so got an extra hook. Where are you tomorrow?
Dozy Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Awesome. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. Big shout out, as always, to Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Be back tomorrow at 3. See you then.
AFR.
Now, I can remind you about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit because they're just the stinking best. Listen, a new year. Maybe your New Year's resolution is finally to take that leap. You've been thinking about, talking about, hoping about, wishing about, praying about buying land for a long time. And if it's finally time to take that step, your first call needs to be to First South Farm Credit. So FirstSouthLand.com. Write it down, punch it into your phone right now in your browser, tell Siri to do it, whatever. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Get in touch with one of their local lenders. Now, look, they got branches all over Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. A lot of people that own land or buy land already own land. You could use the equity in your current land to roll into a new property. Whatever you do, make your first call to First South Farm Credit.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.